In this section, we're going to have a look at the volume of a cylinder. Now, you'll notice that a cylinder is not a lot different to any other prism, except that the cross-sectional area or shape is a circle. And so if we work out the area of the circle, that's the same as working out the area of something like a triangular prism. So remember, with a triangular prism, if you work out the area of the end and multiply it by the length of the prism, you get the volume. Well, it's the same with a cylinder, only this time the end, the cross-sectional end, is a circle. And as we know, the area of a circle is pi r squared, so there's the first part of it. And then all we need to do is to times it by the height of the object, and we'll work out the volume of any cylinder. So let's take an example of how we can actually work out the volume of a cylinder. One thing we need to notice first of all is that these are in meters. Now, there is a mistake in this question which you need to change in your booklet. It says calculate correct to the nearest centimetre cube. Now, what we need to do is to cross that out, and we're going to change this to the nearest metre cube or cubic metre. So let's see how we do it. We know that the volume is calculated by working out the area of the cross-sectional end, so the area of the end, and we times that by the height of the object. Now, the end is a circle, and we know that the area of a circle is pi r squared, and then of course our height is given. So let's substitute in our values. We'll leave pi as it is because we can get that from our calculator. The radius is 15.3, and we've got to square that radius, and our height is 45 meters. Now, our calculator display will give us quite a lot of numbers, but let's write down a few of them. Your calculator may give you more than this. So we've got 33,093.694, and it's 0.9. But we need to round it, according to the question, to the nearest cubic metre, which would take us to this position here. And because the number here is 5 or greater, 6 in this case, then our answer is 33094 cubic metres. So there's our solution. Now, sometimes we're not asked to work out the full volume, but rather a portion of the volume of a cylinder, in this case half of a cylinder. And so we go through the same process. We would say, in this case, the volume would not be the full surface, but it's half a circle, half of pi r squared, and then we multiply that by our height. So it'll still be the height measurement. So in this case, we've got half pi again from our calculator. Our radius, now the diameter is 9 centimetres, which means that our radius needs to be half of that, which is 4.5 centimetres. So that's the number that needs to go into here, 4.5, which we square, and then we times it by our height, which is 13. Now let's double check centimetres and centimetres. We don't want to make the mistake of working with one unit that maybe is metres and the other centimetres. This works well though in this case, and when we put this into our calculator, our answer is 413.512133, and I think you'll see that that actually continues. So we're going to do this to the nearest centimetre cubed in this case. And so we look at this number, and once again it's 5, which means that this is going to be taken up to approximately 414 cubic centimetres.